Hello everybody, and welcome back again to my series on Brawlhalla character lore. I can't promise that all of these will be out at in just the same pattern. Uh, there might be a video in between future character lore videos, but as we get back into this, just reviewing over what we've done so far, we talked about the half-man, half-bear Bodvar, the Old West Marshall Cassidy, the mysterious Orion, the alien despotic Lord Vrax, and that in the first video, the last video, we talked about Nash, a super hunter from like prehistoric times, Queen Nai, the queen of the Jaguar Kingdom that drew the essences of 11 of her gods into herself, and Hattori, the demon bride. And today we're going to go over Sir Roland, Scarlet, and Thatch's lore. And we will start with Sir Roland, the Scarlet Lion. Have pity, not all men, thrust to center stage, find they have the heart of Roland, nor the soul to do great deeds. Shakespeare, Henry IV, Part 3, from a lost manuscript. AKA they made it up. It wasn't, is most likely not in there somewhere. And now, a quote from Sir Roland, which I love how much descriptors he has here. And it basically just goes, "How's my hair?" And this is how it describes him as Lord Sir Roland Somerset Montgomery, Duke of the Three Isles, Lord of Havashant, Slayer of the Bilious Dragon, Protector of the Ilithians, Victor of the Siege of Alsberg, Haver of a Great Beard, Defender of the Danes, Conqueror of Galardia, Prince of the Glorious Summer of 14, Knight of the Order of the Exalted Lion, Honorary Abbot of Canterbury Cathedral, Champion of the City of Bath, Marshal of the Eastlands, Knight of the Crimson Buckle, Admiral of the Northern Seas, etc. Meaning he's probably got over 100 titles. But, moving on, as the story goes. As a young knight, bold Sir Roland vanquished fabled Jade Knight. For a brief moment his eyes pierced the veil between worlds. He beheld the Valkyrie Hypernia as she lifted up his defeated foe. Overcome by her beauty, Roland dedicated his life to gaining glory in hopes of seeing the Valkyrie again. For the next 50 years, the proud bull-headed and charming Roland won more victories, made more enemies, and broke more hearts than any knight of his time. His single-handed storming of the forest of Alsberg inspired 47 epic ballads and a lifetime miniseries. Bards wrote songs about the songs he wrote commemorating his victory of the bilious fire drake. As an old man on his deathbed, Roland finally beheld Hypernia again. She could not allow a natural death to keep such a warrior from Brawlhalla, so with a ghost of a smile, she punched him herself so he could die in battle, and she could offer him a seat in the Hall of Glory. No one in Valhalla feels a greater thirst for victory in the tournament than Sir Roland. He rejects every win and rages at every loss. He rejoices with every win and rages at every loss. I just love the touch that a Valkyrie punched Roland so he could go to Valhalla by dying in battle, which is just really funny to me because he was just dying of old age, natural death. She was like, "Oh, no, he's too great a warrior. He gotta go to Valhalla." Whack. There you go. Which I just find that funny. But yeah, so he's just a really good knight. Won out just about every battle he's been in, similar to Bodvar. But unlike Bodvar, who just barged his way into the Valhalla and Asgard, Sir Roland actually died. And now, to the next one, Scarlet, who's labeled Lady Necessity and the Da Vinci of Steam. Scarlet Dashwood is the inventor of the steam dirigible, the Aether Oculoscope, the undersea atherdrome, the electric light bulb, the rocket lance, the first practicable space travel, the first practicable time travel, Encyclopedia Omnibus, 1889 edition. Ignore the pterodactyls. Get me on that Zeppelin. Scarlet to her air skiff pilot, Second Battle of the Andes. Yep. Which means she was around with dinosaurs, which you'll actually see a little bit in her story. Which, as the story goes, Scarlet Dashwood was the youngest person ever elected to the Royal Society, and the only female boxing champion of England. On the expedition to the remote Andes, searching for the source of the mysterious aether flux, she discovered a lost world of dinosaurs, but was betrayed by her partner, the most beloved scientist of the age, Baron von Evilstein. The Baron stole her inventions, framed Scarlet for his supposed murder, and vanished. 10 years later, the Baron emerged from the lost world at the head of a vast armada of airships and dinosaur-riding ape warriors. One after another, the armies of the world fell before the Baron's high-tech aether weapons, until Scarlet and her royal airship navy were all that stood between the Baron and world domination. In the skies over the English Channel, Scarlet led the counterattack, finally defeating the Baron in a vast air battle that twice circumnavigated the globe. Since arriving in Valhalla, Scarlet has been obsessed with the wondrous technology of the gods, and is constantly devising new weapons and challenges to add to the tournament. Which, I just have to say, the fact that she trusted someone to be her partner, whose name was Baron von Evilstein, is really hilarious to me, because you'd think someone with that name might not have the greatest intentions. But you know, she did, whatever. And then, if you remember from the first video, she's an inventor. She tinkers with things, and from this one, Scarlet wants to tear him apart, wants to get her apart Orion and figure out how he works. Lovely, huh? Well, let's now moving on from her to the last legend that'll be featured in this video, Thatch, the Madman of Barbados. Ah, yes. An old sea shanty tells the tale of a buccaneer who went mad drinking gunpowder and grog. Every time he sailed into battle, he'd set his own ship aflame, so there could be no retreat. I forget how it goes, but the chorus includes the phrase, high turnover rate. Oldish Pete, proprietor of the Anchor and Pistol. You cut all this grog, I can still feel my face. Thatch, to a stuffed deer, head over the bar. I think he might have been drunk for that one. But, as the story goes with Thatch, Thatch won his ship from the devil with the devil's own double-headed coin, and aboard it he wreaked more havoc than any pirate before or since. His love of black powder and an obsession with setting the world aflame combined to sink hundreds of ships, sack dozens of ports, and prematurely erupt at least 2 volcanoes. Thatch's ship had so many ghosts, they haunted in shifts. He plays his favorite drinking game, drink every time Thatch has a beer. He claims to be married to the sea and has a marriage license to prove it. He has a face only a mother could love if he hadn't made her walk the plank. For Thatch, the tournament is a paradise of chaos and fire, but even that doesn't slake his thirst for mayhem. He aids in Vrax's schemes to conquer Valhalla out of sheer bloody mindedness, and when bored will lay deadly traps he calls pranks for his fellow legends. He sneaks out at night to dig holes, knowing the gods must have buried treasure somewhere. Essentially, Thatch is a insane pirate who's just has no real logic or actual thought processes in his head. But what I love is that he prematurely erupted at least, so it makes sure to specify at least 2 volcanoes, meaning probably more, and that he has a marriage license to prove he married the sea. Just wrap your head around that for a second. A pirate married the sea, as well as set off 2 volcanoes. He also just likes mayhem, as is proved because it doesn't slack his thirst for mayhem, bloody-mindedness. Yeah, he doesn't really have a ton going on in his head that's normal, but next video, I will be covering Ada, Sentinel, and Lucian. But that is all for this video. And again, Vrax, a callback to one of the first legends that was ever in the game. So we're already seeing some callbacks, just about 10 legends in. But I hope you all have a nice day, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think, and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed.